Stay tuned and let's check out this Jurassic Park Amber Collection, John Raymond Arnold. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And remember, you can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Quite simply show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. Today, we are taking a look at the Jurassic Park Amber Collection from Mattel. And in front of me, we have John Raymond Arnold. That's right, Samuel Jackson's Ray from the very first Jurassic Park movie is now in action figure form. Not only do we get him in the scale that I love at this 6 and 6.5 inch scale, we also get him this year in the Mattel Creations exclusive, which is meant to be the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but it is essentially this Ray and a little velociraptor in like a light up pack from when he goes to turn on the circuit breakers, and you know the rest of the story. But yes, I say it all the time, this Amber Collection has intrigued me from its incarnation, and I knew it had potential, but it got off to a slow start. But as we ramp up towards the next Jurassic Park movie, which is meant to have a lot of the original cast in it, we are now getting some of these action figures hitting, and we have a lot of the A-list characters and B-list characters from this Jurassic Park movie, because no offense to Ray, I wouldn't say he's an A-list character from the movie, but no complaints that we've got an action figure of him at all. We also get some nice unique accessories as well. We get his computer, because of course he is the head technician of Jurassic Park, but we also get this sort of I wouldn't say interchangeable hand, more of a decapitated hand, because we don't really know the full story unless you've read the books. But we don't see Ray's death in the movie, but we sort of know that the velociraptor rips his arm off. Maybe he's alive crawling around somewhere, or maybe the velociraptors get him. Spoiler alert, if you've read the books, you know exactly what's happening. But yes, Ray, we got a headset, he's got the glasses on, interchangeable hands. I'm still so happy that we're getting Jurassic Park figures at the scale that I collect. And I've got more, so I'll do some comparisons. But here we have him in this Amber Collection box, and it's called the Amber Collection because obviously the mosquito was trapped in the amber, and that's where they got the DNA to make the dinosaurs. But here it is in the beautiful packaging, definitely spotting. What I don't like about the back is it doesn't tell you any of the other figures in this line, because if you are just curious collector and you find one of these on the shelves, it would be nice to know that you can get a lot of the other characters from this movie as well. But still, the back has a picture of Ray from the movie, of course, and then we get a little bit of a write-up. So it reads: the head computer technician at Jurassic Park, John Raymond Ray Arnold, reluctantly shuts down the park's power system in an effort to undo Dennis Nedry's destructive and dangerous programming. After initiating the reboot, Arnold's decision to check the circuit breakers gets wildly out of hand. And as I said, hand is probably a good pun, because he's only left with a hand and an arm, or a hand attached to an arm. Still, let's see if it interchanges. Let's see his arm comes off. Let's see what this figure is all about, and let's get it open. So here we have John Raymond Arnold out of the packaging with all of his accessories, and from this point forward, I'm going to refer to him as just Ray, all right? We're friends like that. But here we have Ray with his accessories, and these are unique to him. So we have his computer, we have his headset, we have some interchangeable hands, and of course, this decapitated arm. Now, at first I thought this was like an interchangeable arm with like blood, but there is no peg hole. So this is genuinely just a nice little Easter egg, because Ellie Statler finds this arm. So yeah, I look forward to seeing pictures and ACBA with this guy and that arm. I'll make sure I introduce Ellie to this arm later. She may get some crazy flashbacks. But yeah, a nice little array of accessories for Ray. See what I did there? And but the character design is spot on. And this Amber Collection, I've told you from the get-go, has some nice articulation, but for me it's more about just having these characters represented on the shelf in plastic from one of my favourite movies. If I had to do a top 10 movies of all time, Jurassic Park would be up there for sure. Seen it many times, just like a lot of you, from my childhood all the way to my adulthood. It still holds up now, let's be honest. And yeah, great to have these figures now in plastic in that accurate form. I had all the Kenner figures as a kid. We never had a Ray, but even the figures I did have weren't accurate to how they were seen in the movie. So the fact that these are accurate to the characters we see on the screen is crazy. So let's zoom in and see how accurate that face is. So I don't think the likeness is terrible, but I don't think it's amazing either. But I can still tell it's meant to be Ray. The glasses are actually glued to the head and they're separate piece, so they're made of like a thick clear plastic, but you can still see the eyes under there as well. And if I lift up the glasses, you can see his eyes are painted just like the moustache. The moustache and eyes are both painted onto the sculpted face. The glasses are glued in just here above the ear on both sides, but as I said, they are a separate piece, so they do have a bit of movement, but they are not going to fall off or anything like that. There you go, wiggling him, he's fine. The moustache is painted, but the hair is a separate piece. You can see that sculpted sort of receding hairline all the way around to the back. You can see more sculpted hair, and then a nice little detail, he's balding right on the top of his head, just like he is in the movie. Poor Samuel Jackson. But there, let's take a look at the rest of the figure now. So he's wearing his lab coat, and what I like about the lab coat is if we zoom in here on the pocket, we can see that nice Jurassic Park logo, if it will focus for me, which I think looks great, and he even has some pens in the pocket as well. While we're here, you can see the tie has got some nice square little details in there, and then the shirt is pinstriped as well. Now, the jacket is a soft piece, so the jacket can like fold away and it's not gonna get in the way of articulation. We could actually take this jacket off Ray if we wanted to, but then he'd have the shirt pinstriped, but then the jacketed arms, so that wouldn't really make sense. So you've got to keep the jacket on, but that's absolutely fine. It's what he wears in the film. Trousers are just grey with this black bout. The tie is glued to the top part of the torso, but not the bottom part, and I think that's so it doesn't hinder articulation. But he's got a black bout with a silver buckle, with the grey trousers all the way down to the black shoes, and yeah, very simple, like on the back, not a lot of deco, but he is wearing just grey trousers and a lab coat, so what more do you expect? But I like the little details on the front as well, and as I said, it represents the character very, very nicely. Now, in regards to articulation, just real quick while we're here, the arms do go all the way up to 90. He has got a double jointed elbow as well, and you can see the cut there on the top of the forearm for the swivel. And what's interesting on this arm in particular, right? So the reason the cut is there is for a very specific reason, right? So if I attach that arm, you can see the gaping bloody hole from where his arm should be, and that is perfect for this accessory. Now, we all know the raptors rip his arm off, and this is the arm that Ellie Statler finds. Now, there's no peg, so this arm isn't going to peg in there, but as a little Easter egg for your shelf, if you wanted to display Ray one-armed, like maybe he escaped without his arm, there he is. You can create your own stories. But in regards to the actual arm accessory, it is a nice little Easter egg from the movie. So we got, it's all one-sided piece, by the way. So we've got Ray's arm, we've got the pinstripe shirt sleeve rolled up, and then we got that bloody sort of mess there at the top. So if you wanted to, I guess Ray could sort of hold his own arm and escape. Poor Ray. But, of course, that does plug in there. So that is the reason you've got that weird articulation choice above the elbow, is so you can pop off the arm. And, of course, for symmetry, they had to do it on this side as well. So you can pop the arm off this side, but I'm not going to, so I don't need to. Rest of the figure, you got a swivel at the waist, just above the bout. There you go, swiveling there. And there is a bit of ab crunch as well. Not amazing. There is like a ball at the diaphragm, I think. So not amazing, but some. So it's pretty good. As I said, arms are pretty good. Head will look up, down, swivel. My head's a little bit loose, but it's got the range that I want. That's fine. Now, of course, we get a computer of Ray, so can he sit down? His legs go all the way up there. He has got double jointed legs as well, which ain't bad at all. Like, can he kick his own ass? Very, very nearly. And of course, he has a swivel up here at the top of the thigh. Legs will go out pretty far. Like, look. Ray can do the splits. Come on now, that's better than some Marvel legends. Moving down to the feet. Now the trousers do sort of overhang the boots, or the shoes, sorry, but there is a hinge there. And is there an ankle pivot? I don't think there is an ankle pivot. Maybe there is, but I don't think there is. And then the serial numbers on the bottom of the feet. If only other lines could do that exact same thing. Hasbro. But yeah, there you go. Nice articulation for a character who, let's be honest, on my shelf is just going to be sitting on his computer. And talking about his computer, here it is. Now, it's all one solid plastic piece and it's hollow, as you can see there. But it is very unique accessory for Ray. The only problem is I'm now going to have to build a table and chairs so I can actually get Ray to sit down using his computer. But I'm not mad they included it at all. It makes sense. It's the right accessory for the head technician of Jurassic Park. The keyboard is sculpted, so they are on there. But this screen is a sort of sticker, decal, if you will, put on here. But mine's nicely put on there. And it is an accurate screen from the movie. movie. So if it will zoom in and focus for me, you can see that you've actually got a picture of the map. You've got the paddocks and they're being unlocked. Over here, you've got the Jeep because you can control the Jeep from where he's sitting. Yeah, so this is pretty good. Nice and accurate, makes sense from the movie. So now I just need to build a table to put this on. Now, of course, he communicates with the whole park with his headset. So there's Ray again. Let's bring on the headset. So the headset is a separate piece that literally can just sit over the head nicely. And you can see the mic goes to his mouth perfectly. And it fits there nicely as well. That's not falling off when I turn him upside down. So Ray can hold his headset on his head nice and firmly, and that's pretty good. So now we just get him sitting on his computer. As I said, I need to build a table and chairs now, don't I? But we can get him sitting at his computer, controlling the park. So yeah, any dire makers out there want to build me a table and chairs? But that's pretty good. And lastly, I should mention, he does come with two sort of standard C-grip hands, but he does have a set of interchangeable hands, which include, I guess you would say, sort of more open hands. Maybe this is so that when he's sitting down on the keyboard, he's got his hands out straight so he can actually sort of tap the keys on the keyboard. That's what I imagine these are there for. The other hand has got a bit of a tighter grip, but not as tight as the C grip. So interchangeable hands are always good. Not complaining that we get more accessories. But yeah, overall, for a character that, let's be honest, just sat on his computer and didn't do too much in the movie, it's pretty good. Now, I mentioned it in the start, he was about 6.5 inches in scale. So let's see if I was right. And yeah, I'm virtually spot on. He's about 6.5 inches, which will make him a little bit taller than some of the other Amber Collection figures we have. But I think that is accurate to the sort of actor. I think Samuel Jackson's pretty tall. And if we bring in Ray Arnold compared to John Hammond and Dennis Nedry here, you can see that he is taller than both of them. But I think, again, that's accurate to how he is in the film. I don't know if John Hammond's that short. Maybe he is, but still, I think the scale works nicely. Ray's head just seems a little bit bigger as well. Maybe a little bit too big in scale. I don't know. It doesn't bother me though, because for me, I'm going to have Ray sat on his computer and then you won't even notice. Here we have Ray compared to Ellie, of course. And Ellie, I wanted to reintroduce you to Mr. Arnold's arm. What happened to Ray in the movie? I guess we'll never know. Here we have Ray compared to an Amber Collection velociraptor. And I think this gives us a little hint of what happened to Ray's arm off screen during Jurassic Park. Because as you can see, this raptor is literally chomping on Ray Arnold's arm. But look how good this looks, people. Honestly, these raptors are very impressive. And yeah, poor Ray had no chance, let's be honest. So yeah, these, let me take that out of his mouth for a sec. These literally scale as tall as the humans if you want them to. They pose up really nice, lots of articulation, bendy wire in the tail. And yeah, these are really fun and the perfect sort of unfortunate adversary for Ray. But if I shove his arm back in there, it's feeding time for the raptors. But yeah, definitely want to get more of these raptors for the Amber Collection. Makes sense for poor Ray here, but I think they look great together. And lastly, here we have Ray compared to an average bookie cap Marvel legend, which is of course worthy Hellfire Hank. And again, what I love about this Amber Collection is it does fit in scale with some of the other lines I'm collecting. So if I wanted to create a little what if or multiverse corner of Jurassic Park, I can do that and it will make sense, sort of. So, final thoughts on John Raymond Arnold in this Amber Collection. And yeah, I'm very happy. Give me all and every human character from that Jurassic Park movie. As I said, it hits my nostalgia sweet spot. So the fact that all these years later, I can collect these figures, have them represented in plastic on the shelf, in the scale I love, still blows my mind. And the fact that we're getting some of these B characters like Ray and Dennis Nedry. Well, is Dennis Nedry a B character? Even still, it's great to be getting all these characters because the Amber Collection, as I said, it started off slow, but we're now rock and rolling as they have announced Alan Grant and Robert Muldoon. We're just missing the two kids. We just need Timmy and Lex and we are good to go. We have all of the main human characters from Jurassic Park. Now just give me a 6-inch scale Jeep and a giant dinosaur. I think I've already got that Colossus T-Rex. Maybe that will work in scale with this sort of Amber Collection. Maybe I should do a review of that guy if I can get a bigger review table, but still, below. Samuel Jackson in figure form is never going to be a complaint from me, no matter what franchise he is in. And yeah, this Ray figure is great. Very happy. Now I just need to build him a desk and a chair so I can display him with the rest of these figures. But you tell me what you think of this Amber collection in the comments below. As always, have you been picking and choosing? Have you been late to the party, but now you're more tempted to jump in? Now they're fleshing out the line a little bit more. Always curious to hear your thoughts in the comments below. But as always, people, if you want to see more reviews from the things I love, then please hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated. You can now hit that join button and become a channel member as well. Either show some love or join the members club. Much appreciated. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. I'm on Twitter at Dan Who Reviews. And as always, I shall see you on the next one.